Hi, welcome back to Legacy of Leaders. I'm your co-host, Captain Rick Hoffman, and I'm joined today by Phil Burt, who's going to help me manage today's conversation. And we have here today as our first guest, Alan Lowe from Angel Advisors. Welcome,
Great.
Alan.
Thank you.
Now you're a transplant. You're a northerner. You've come from Atlanta.
Exactly.
I like to refer to this part of Jacksonville as Baja, Georgia anyway. So you really haven't crossed any borders to get here.
Correct.
So tell us a little bit about Angel Advisors.
We work with growing companies, entrepreneurial, normally privately held, help them grow, take care of their people. That's why leadership really connected with me, with your show. And obviously make a little money in the process.
Yeah. Well, you came to Jacksonville about 5 years ago. How are you finding it?
I like it. The funny story is when my wife and I got married, which is a few years ago, we were married in Jacksonville.
Really? Okay.
And well, we took our honeymoon here. We were actually married in Atlanta, but we drove to Jacksonville, and that's where we had our honeymoon. So it's like full circle.
Yeah.
There you go.
So did you do stuff in industry before you started consulting?
Yeah, I was running two companies in Atlanta. One was in the printing business, and the other one was in the trade show industry.
Okay.
And so we ended up selling both of those companies after a good run. And I was looking for something new to do. And a friend of mine said I ought to consider being a coach. He said, I think you might be pretty good at it. Mm-hmm. And so one thing led to another. And here I am 30 years later, still doing basically the same thing.
Yeah, well, good. Well, again, Jacksonville is richer for people who come here and continue to serve the community in the way that you're doing. And so having started my own little small business years ago, sure could have used some help then. Mm-hmm. I think the numbers I've heard is, I think like 5% of startups last the first 5 years, something like some ridiculous number.
It's a low number for sure.
Yeah, and then I'm at the back end of my run where I was talking to a merger and acquisition coach back in September, and he said, 100% of small businesses are convinced that they're going to cash out and make millions of dollars, and 80% of them are wrong.
Oh.
So so I totally get it, and you now help companies like mine move to that out of that 80%.
If that's what they want. Yeah. I mean, sometimes they want to pass it along to their kids.
Yeah.
That's perfectly okay. There's all kinds of ways to exit a business.
Yeah.
But I guess the big point is if you really are serious about selling it, there's a lot of work that has to be done to get the business ready so it is sellable.
Yeah.
Now, do you focus on like startups or
no,
more established
typically
businesses?
More established businesses. I love entrepreneurs in general, but I might pick them up about the 5-year mark, which is what you said, and they a lot of times have plateaued. They've gotten to a certain level on just energy and enthusiasm, but they're stuck and can't move up. Yeah. So that's what we work on. Is how do we get further up to the next level?
Yeah.
All right. What traits do you think are the most valuable for an entrepreneur? Like someone that's coming in and said, like when you see someone, you're like, this is going to be successful or this is not. Like, do you have
let me first qualify by saying all kinds of different people can be successful as an entrepreneur. But if you ask for one trait, I would say a learner, somebody who is willing to listen to somebody else and learn from their mistakes and their successes, and then figure out how to apply that to their business.
Yeah. I would say that to be an effective coach, you need to have someone who is coachable.
Yeah. And the worst thing you can do is try to coach somebody that doesn't want to be coached.
Yeah.
I mean, it is painful for both people.
Yeah. I've had my experience with
that. Well, yeah, it's a challenge, and lifelong learning as a larger subset of growth is so important. I'm a guest lecturer of leadership at the University of North Florida. And my very last slide when I speak to these kids from the honors college is read like your life depends on it.
Yeah.
As soon as you stop reading, you stop reading, you stop growing, you stop growing, you start dying.
Yeah.
So read as though your life depends on it. So being a lifelong learner is an essential ingredient.
Well,
to be successful.
and I think my personal opinion is retirement is overrated. and so the most effective entrepreneurs I see, they may not work as hard as they did when they first started because they've surrounded themselves with really smart people,
Yeah.
and they get out of their way and let them do what they hired them to do.
Yeah. Well, I tell people that leadership's interesting. Leadership and management. In the military, we kind of poo-poo management. But the reality is leadership and management are opposite sides of the exact same coin.
Mm.
If I don't trust you as a subordinate, I'm going to manage you.
Mm.
If you don't trust me as the boss, you're going to need to be managed. So leadership is a function of trust, and the function of management is once you've got the tools, the time, and the training to do your job, a leader lets you. So
That's right.
yeah. So
Right.
well, thank you so much, Alan, for being our guest today, and
Thank
Phil.
you.
Thank you
Phil,
for
nice to
co-hosting,
meet you.
Nice.
doing all the heavy lifting today. And thank you so much. This is Rick Hoffman from Legacy of Leaders, and Phil, my co-host today. Thank you so much. Out here.